What's going on, film fans? Thomas L here. And there's this week is the new film The Nun, which of course is set in the Conjuring universe, and and it features a creepy nun, and I mean creepy. This is the type of nun you would not want to see at no churches. So anyway, I decided to do my top 10 favorite nun-related movies. Movies that, of course, feature nuns and all. Alright, that being said, here's my top 10 list. Coming in at number 10 is Novitate, which came out last year and starred Melissa Leo, Margaret Qualley, few good castmates. Anyway, Qualley stars as Kathleen Harris, who is like in her late teens, has resided at the convent of the beloved Rose in her home state in the American South for close to 2 years, and pretty much she joins a Catholicism to become a nun, and the Reverend Mother believes she is the voice of God within the walls of the convent, and she also struggles with faith, changing church and sexuality. I mean, this movie was pretty decent. I mean, it was a little slow at times. Most Catholic movies, are slightly slow. But it was pretty decent. Like, Melissa Leo gave a fantastic performance. I was surprised she did not get some sort of Oscar consideration for this because she was fantastic. Margaret Qualley, who's the daughter of Andy McDowell, was fantastic here. She's definitely an actress to look out for in the future. The other cast members was good. Director Maggie Betts did a really good job at directing. I can't wait to see where her next film is. Her next film could have been Black Widow, but another director replaced her. So we'll see what the director has coming out down the line. But yeah, I'll say give Novitate a go. I mean, it's a really slow film, but it picks up pretty well. All right, coming in at number 9 is the 1943 film The Song of Bernadette, which takes place in 1858 France Bernadette, and it's about a peasant girl who has a vision of a beautiful lady who's like the Bloody Mary. It's based on a novel, and it stars Jennifer Jones as the lead. You also got the likes of Charles Bickford, Vincent Price is in this movie, Lee J. Cobb. I mean, this movie is kind of outdated. It came out in 43, and I don't know if it'll probably get made today, to be honest with you. It's actually been a long time since I even watched this movie. But I remember really kind of digging it when I first saw it. Once in a while it'll get shown on TCM and all that, and it's a pretty decent film. I mean, Jennifer Jones had a really good performance here. It's cool seeing Vincent. It was cool seeing Vincent Price in a non-horror film because he's pretty much like a horror icon. But yeah, definitely check out Song of Burn. That it's a really nice slow flick. Coming in at number 8 is the 1945 film called The Bell of St. Mary's. Here's what the film is about. At a big city Catholic school, Father O'Malley and Sister Benedict indulge in friendly rivalry and succeed in extending the British through the gift of a building. Like the leads was Bing Crosby, who was like an iconic actor, as well as Ingrid Bergman, who was also an iconic actress. You also had like Henry Travers, Joan Carroll, Reese Williams was in this. I mean, pretty decent like cast in the golden age of cinema. I really like the chemistry between Bing Crosby and Ingrid Bergman. They both had good chemistry here. This film is also pretty outdated, but it's definitely worth a go. All right, coming in at number 7 is the 1995 film titled Dead Men Walking, which starred Susan Sarandon as a nun who is comforting a convicted killer on death row with both the killer and his victims' families. This was directed by Sarandon's ex-husband Tim Robbins. It also had Sean Penn, um, the late great Ollie Ermey, Scott Wilson, Margot Martindale. Up, I think Jack Black was also in this, if I'm not mistaken. Really decent supporting cast. I mean, this movie is like Sarandon gave one of her best performances. Sean Penn was fantastic in this movie. They had like a good chemistry with one another. This is kind of slightly underrated. I don't really hear many people talk about this movie as much as they should. But if you haven't seen Dead Man Walking, give it a go. It's an interesting little flick. Number 6. Oh boy, is another recent one, and that's this summer movie I saw last year called The Little Hours. Oh boy. If you watch this, you're not going to want to look at Nuns the same way. Well, I guess if you watch The Nun, you're probably not going to want to look at Nuns the same way. But The Little Hours was a 2016 film I saw last year. And it starred Aubrey Plaza, Alison Brie, Kate Masucci. Dave Franco was in this. G. Raleigh. Molly Shannon. Paul Reiser, Nick Offerman, Adam Pally. Good cast. And pretty much it includes like nuns. Pretty much cursing, getting high. Stuff that you would not see nuns do. I mean, this was one of the most raunchiest movies I saw last year. They should have just called it Bad Nuns, really. Kind of like Bad Santa, but with nuns. I mean, these nuns get into crazy stuff, and I mean crazy stuff. Anyway, if you guys haven't seen The Little Hours, do yourself a favor. Give this movie a go. Well, if you're like a real religious person, definitely don't see this because if you're very religious, you might find this movie completely offensive. All right, coming in at number 5 is the 2008 movie Doubt, which is of course based on the play and is about a Catholic school principal who questions a priest's relationship with a troubled young student. The film starred the likes of Meryl Streep, Amy Adams was in this, Viola Davis. Who else was in this? Oh, the late great Philip Seymour Hoffman. This movie also scored tons of Oscar nominations. I think one for Meryl Streep, most likely. I think Philip Seymour Hoffman scored a nomination for this, as well as Viola Davis and Amy Adams. And I think the film also scored Best Picture, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta double check that, but this movie is really darn good. I mean, of course, Streep. It's Streep. Of course, she'll give it a good performance. Philip Seymour Hoffman. My God, I miss that guy. He was so fantastic in this movie. Amy Adams was on the top of her game, and I mean, Adams is always great. If you guys still haven't seen Doubt, it turns 10 years old this year, believe it or not. But anyway, yeah, give Doubt a go. It's a really good little movie. Coming in at number 4 is the 1966 musical film, or yeah, music-related film called The Singing Nun, which starred Debbie Reynolds, R.I.P. Debbie Reynolds. Anyway, Debbie Reynolds is wait. All right, let me see if I. Anyway, Debbie Reynolds plays a character named Sister Anne who has just arrived at her next posting at Samaritan House, a Dominic order located in disreputable neighborhood of Ghent, Belgium. And Sister Anne's path takes a detour when the old order's father Clemente hears Sister Anne sings, and he believes Sister Anne should record her own music. This is pretty much a music. Like there's good music in this. Debbie Reynolds, that woman could sing. I mean, Sing in the Rain. This, she was a fantastic singer as well as an actress. You also had actor Ricardo Montalban. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Chad Everett was in this. Catherine Ross. Pretty good old timing cast. Uh, this movie I think is also outdated, but it's a really good music film. Like I really dig some of the music in it, and Debbie Reynolds was amazing as always. If you guys haven't seen The Singing Nun, check this one out. It's a really delight. Coming in at number 3 is the 1959 movie The Nun Story, which starred Audrey Hepburn. And here's what the film is about. After leaving a wealthy Belgian family to become a nun, Sister Luke struggles her devotion to her vows during crisis, disappointment, and World War II. Of course, this film takes place around during World War II. Audrey Hepburn was amazing in this. I mean, she was always a delight. Here, Finch was in this movie. You had Beatrice Straight, Margaret Phillips, Dean Jagger. I mean, good supporting cast as well. And this is probably one of my favorite Audrey Hepburn performances. Down the line, I'll probably see about doing my 10 favorite Audrey Hepburn movies one of these days. But she was a real delight in this movie. She was she did such a good job at playing a nun. You know, this film is also pretty heartfelt. It's heartbroken at times. If you guys haven't seen The Nun Story, check it out. It's a really darn good movie. All right, coming in at number 2 is the 1992 comedy Sister Act. Now, classic comedy with Whoopi Goldberg. Maggie Smith was in this. Hefty Najimy. Harvey Keitel, Bill Nunn. Really good cast. This film starred Whoopi Goldberg as Doris Wilson, who who's a black woman who has chosen the stage name Dolores Van Carter, who's a Reno lounge singer. She, she takes the lead in the girl trio, in which she also chooses to arranges the music and choreographs the show. She's pretty much wisecracking. She's hysterical in this movie. Like, Sister Act is a comic classic. Whoopi Goldberg was awesome in this movie. Had some good music in it. It was also followed up by a sequel, which wasn't as good as this one. It was pretty decent. And of course, there was like a Broadway show of Sister Act, which I haven't seen, but I hear like some of the music involved with it. Good music. And I heard like rumblings about another Sister Act movie down the line. I'm all for seeing another Sister Act. I mean, get Whoopi Goldberg away from The View and get her in another Sister Act. I'm all for that. But if you guys still haven't seen Sister Act and you guys want a good laugh, check this movie out. It's a hysterical comedy. All right, coming in at number 1 is 1965's The Sound of Music, which of course starred the great Julie Andrews as well as Christopher Plummer. Of course, you had like the Von Trapp sisters. You got like the nuns includes Sister Margareta, Sister Berth. Like, there's lots of cool nuns in this, and the music is fantastic. This movie is an iconic film. I mean, it still gets shown on TV from time to time. There was a NBC live telecast of it. AMC is actually re-releasing it back in theaters for a Fathom event. I mean, I'll probably check it out, but it's way too long to. I mean, the movie is like completely long. It's like, I think 4 or 3 hours, but it's worth it. It's an iconic classic music movie. Like, if no one still haven't seen The Sound of Music, treat yourself. It's such a classic movie, and Julie Andrews was amazing in this movie as well. She was also good in Mary Poppins too. Anyway, that's pretty much my list of the top 10 Nun movies. Let me run down the list. Number 10, Novitate. Number 9, The Song of Bernadette. Number 8, The Bells of St. Mary's. Number 7, Dead Men Walking. Number 6, The Low Hours. Number 5, Doubt. Number 4, The Singing Nun. Number 3, The Nun Story. Number 2, Sister Act. And number 1, The Sound of Music. Now, there's few movies with nuns in it I could have added. I mean, Problem Child. Come on, there's the nun scenes, and that is hysterical. I mean, come on, Kay Upton in The Three Stooges. Who could forget that scene with Kay Upton in The Three Stooges? I can't. I mean, Kay Upton as a nun, sign me up. Of course, there is the creepy nun in The Conjuring 2, which of course just got a spin-off with The Nun. The list goes on. There's a few other good nun-related films out there. Let me give it to you guys. What are your favorite nun movies? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Thomas L. signing out.